Good morning and welcome to the first 2024 edition of the Teacher's Wake Up Call with myself, Madame la Prof. Do you know it's very difficult to get back into a routine after you spent 2 solid weeks on break? I think I've mentioned that before, that to get back into a routine that you are familiar with. Let me be clear. I'm very familiar with this routine, but my body had forgotten the grind, and it's scary how quickly your body forgets the grind. So that's why I didn't have the energy to create a video until today. So welcome back. And for those who are new to this channel who literally just stumbled upon this purely by accident, subscribe. I sometimes say entertaining things. So a tentative agreement was reached. It's on the table. We basically put a pause to the striking action and all of the chaos that was going on before Christmas. And as a reminder, my union was not the one that striked for a month. I'm part of the Common Front. And this offer comes with a 17.4% increase over 5 years. I have thoughts about that, so I don't want to seem greedy. I really don't want to. But did y'all forget about that 30% salary increase that the M&As gave themselves last summer? Did we forget about that? Did we forget about that? So, I knew we weren't going to get 30%. And 30%, that would have been okay, somebody was smoking something really good. But I was kind of secretly hoping maybe for a nice round number, 20%. But I guess that was being greedy. So, a few people did some math. And basically, we are going to be getting a salary finally over 100,000. Now, some of you are going to say, wow, that's a lot. You should be really thankful. And I am. I'm very thankful. But I'm part of a few different discussion groups on various social media platforms, and a few people have said, with the way inflation has been going, we are literally going to end up in the same position in 5 years, where it will be very difficult for many of us to make a sustainable livelihood. Now, I still have 10 years, give or take maybe 5, left to teach. And do I want to be in that position? No one wants to struggle, but no one wants to seem greedy either. And some people on these platforms, in these groups, have said, I'm not going to be voting for this offer. This offer is just enough to keep us quiet, to keep us happy. And those people have said, we do not want to end up in the same position as we are now. And they're going to be voting against the offer. The offer is not just about the salary, right? It has to do with other aspects of our workload and our teaching reality, and we still haven't seen those details yet. So it's very hard for me right now with those little pieces of information given to us. Is it enough? Is it really enough? And are we voting only for that? I think some people are, and with reason, some people are sticking to that 17.4 over 5 years, and the union was trying to get over 3 years. They were trying to get it over 3 years so we can renew a contract in 3 years. But this is over 5 years. Because we have to remember, there's the common front, and then there are the sectorial agreements, and those are very different things. So, like for instance, the common front will not talk about classroom composition, and I'm very curious about that, because although I survive, despite having kids who have special needs, but I've always believed that all kids have special needs. It's not just because like one kid is on like the autism spectrum and the other one isn't, that makes the one that isn't not special needs. Every kid has special needs, okay? Some of them mask them better than others, all right? And others don't, but I think we absolutely need to create classes based on the weight of those students before reaching the max. Like we have to say, how much is this kid worth? Okay, he's got the equivalent needs of 1.8 students. I don't know how they calculate it, and let's create classes based on the real numbers and not the physical number, and then adjust, because you end up with a class, and it has happened to me. I ended up with a class that had 32, but in reality was worth like 36, 37. And in some cases, those students were not difficult. Like they were worth 2 students, but that kid needs extra help. How? They do all their work. They ask questions when needed. And that's the reality of the classroom, because in some cases you will end up with students in a classroom that haven't been assessed, haven't been evaluated, and understandably so. The assessment process takes time and it takes money. If you want to have an assessment done quickly, you go into the private sector and you can pay upwards of $3,000, $4,000 just to get an assessment. So just to circle back to, negotiations and contracts, is my teaching reality only the salary? It is not. So when we will be presented with all of the information in the contract or whatever offer they're going to be presenting to us, is it improving my overall reality? And I know for some, the salary is the overall reality. For others, it isn't. And I think it's important to consider all the different elements before saying it's a good offer or if it's a crappy offer. I just personally wanted to have like a nice round number. 17.4 with my limited math skills does not make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. I think they took that number so it could be like, oh yeah, it will equate to a $6,000 increase, because they like round numbers on that end. I like round numbers at the beginning, In appearance, 20 looks nice. 17.4 looks like they were pulling hair and pulling hairs and gritting teeth when they came to that number. On that lovely note, folks, have yourselves a lovely day and enjoy your coffee or whatever potion you're drinking this morning. It's the spot.